Now, why is it that the Buddha and allowed his followers to take this type of meat with the 3 conditions? Because the Buddha was a very practical person. The Buddha could see that even if you practice vegetarianism, you would still cannot avoid killing other living beings. For example, all of us want to live in a house, right? So because you want to live in a house, they have to make these housing estates, these huge housing estates. Now in making the huge housing estates, they have to clear a lot of forests, to make these housing estates. When they clear these forests, a lot of animals are killed in the process. They clear and then they burn. A lot of beings are killed. Now we want to use electricity. Because you want to use electricity, the government has got to dam up the river to make these dams to provide this hydroelectric power. Now when the rivers are dammed up, the water level rises up. A lot of beings, creatures are killed in the process. Again, you want to use household items like cups, plastics, cloth, etc. Then they have to make factories to produce these things. Now when they make factories, they have to clear large areas of forests again to provide these areas for the factories. Again, a lot of animals are killed in the process. Then even when you want to take vegetarian food, like vegetables or fruits or rice, they have to be planted. Now to plant them, huge areas also have to be cleared to provide for orchards and paddy fields, etc. Cannot avoid being involved in the killing of other living beings. Now, the other thing is, most vegetarians, they have this idea, just like I did also, because I was a vegetarian for nearly 10 years. When I was a vegetarian, I also did it out of compassion. And I also had this wrong idea that it would be very good if everybody in the world became vegetarians. Because if everybody in the world became vegetarians, then they would not kill animals for food. But then this is not really practical. Because we know, for example, in Australia, formerly they did not have rabbits. Then they imported a pair of rabbits to put them in Australia. Very soon, it multiplied. Now we have millions and millions of rabbits, in Australia. So every day, the farmers are killing rabbits, they are killing kangaroos, they are killing rats, etc. Because these animals are eating the plants that they plant. But they are not eating these animals. They kill them and then they just throw them away. So if you imagine, if everybody became vegetarians, then we set free all these pigs and the goats and the chickens and the ducks, then they multiply so fast that very soon they will also be killed in a similar way when they start eating the vegetables and the fruit trees and all these things. So from here you find that it is quite impossible to avoid killing of animals. This is samsara. That's why this place is called samsara. It involves a lot of dukkha. Now most vegetarians also have this idea that because people take meat, then these butchers and all that kill these animals to sell. So because you take meat, you are involved indirectly in the killing of animals. But then, as I explained just now, even if you are a vegetarian, you are also involved indirectly in the killing of animals. You cannot avoid it. As far as this thing about eating this meat and indirectly involving the killing of animals, that is worldly cause and effect. It is not kamma vipaka. Kamma vipaka, as I explained just now, is intentional action and its result. So because we take the meat with the three conditions is very different from somebody either killing the meat and eating it, or going to the market and asking the seller to, if you choose, for example, a chicken, then you ask somebody to kill it for you, it directly involves killing. There is intention to do killing. But if you eat meat with the three conditions, you don't have the karma of killing. And that what is involved is worldly cause and effect. Worldly cause and effect is not karma vipaka. Just as, for example, a few years ago, I read, I think 2 years ago, I saw in the papers one item. Somebody gave me a page from the newspaper to show me something. Then I happened to see another column. It was reported that every year 700,000 human beings are killed on the road by motor vehicles. That means every day 2,000 human beings are killed on the road every day by motor vehicles, and then of course animals are countless. Even if you go to Kedah, you can see every morning snakes are killed on the road near the paddy fields. Iguana, birds, rats, and all various types of animals are killed on the road by cars. And those animals killed by cars are countless, So if you use the worldly cause and effect, that means you should not drive a car, Because when you drive a car, you are encouraging people to make more cars, more motor vehicles. And that means more human beings will be killed on the road, in addition to the animals. But then, as we said just now, you're driving a car, as long as you don't have the intention to kill, even if you do kill, it's not karma, because you did not have the intention to kill. So, that's all I want to say concerning vegetarianism. So I'll stop here, and if you have questions, we'll try to answer.